Today we're going to be talking about why do overweight women think they're prettier than what they are. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Anthony Spade channel. Before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that notification button if you haven't already. Today we're going to be talking about why do overweight women think they're prettier than what they are. In today's world, we have a lot of overweight women that are walking around with egos like a supermodel. On the outside, people are looking at them as being unhealthy and not attractive, but the aura that they're putting off is that they are the most beautiful person in the world. Now, what we're facing is reality and delusion, but the sad part about overweight women, when they become very delusional, it makes everybody around them mad. And the reason why is because they become louder, they become more obnoxious, they talk more. Now, before I get into overweight women, I'm gonna let you know a secret about overweight women. Most women are overweight because they love to gossip. They love to talk. Inside of your body, there's a cell called cortisol. Cortisol is actually a hormone throughout the body that causes your body to put on weight due to stress. The more you're stressed out, the more weight you put on. When it comes to bigger women who gossip hold on to a lot of stress. To hold on to negative thoughts inside of your mind creates stress to your body. The more a woman gossip, the more that her body is actually holding on to stress because she's holding on to thoughts that she wants to tell somebody. So she collects the information and then she gives the information to people so she gets attention. All right, throughout that process of a woman gaining information, holding on to it and then telling someone is where her body is going to put on the most weight. So you're gonna notice around women that are overweight, they love to talk, they love to debate, they love to gossip. The more a woman gossips, the bigger she's going to get because her body is holding on to stress and releasing cortisol hormones throughout her body. The older women get, you would notice the bigger they get, the more they hang around other women that are big as well. And what do? They sit around, talk, and eat. Sit around, complain, talk, and eat. Sit around, complain, talk, and eat. While they're doing that, their body is releasing cortisol throughout their body that's causing them to put on weight. So the bigger she is, the more gossipy she's going to be. Now back to the delusion of a woman. All right, the delusion of the overweight woman. See, what you have to understand about the overweight woman is she battles a lot of insecurity. She has more insecurity than the average woman out there because she's always going against the face of beauty. She's always been put down. She's always been told that she has to be skinny. But one thing about women is they have a harder time losing weight. Women can become obese faster than men. Why? Because of that cell, that cortisol cell. Is going to constantly cause a woman to keep putting on weight because she's constantly stressing. The more a woman is insecure, the bigger she's gonna get. Now, how do these big women get around to being more delusional than what they are? It's called the internet. It's called acceptance. See, reality may not accept her, but in the world of the Matrix, which is the world that we're living in with the internet, she could be anybody that she wants to be because she has an audience out there that's going to support her. So she may be living in one city, but her audience may be spread out across a bunch of other cities. But what she gets is the gratification. She has a man that she's getting attention from that's telling her, you're beautiful. I like you. I like you for where you are. So she gets in chat rooms that are surrounded by hundreds and thousands of guys that like her being big. Men do have a fetish for bigger women. So what a fat woman does is the same thing as a skinny woman does in today's world. She collects her gratification from men that she has no interest in being with, and then she uses that on the outside world. Majority of these women have an ego from guys that they never see. And it's happening to bigger women too, because there's not a lot of guys that are in their DMs telling them, you're fat, we don't like you. She has those guys that are telling her that. She has women that are telling her that she's too fat. But she has a more number of guys. She has more men that are telling her that she's pretty and that accept her and that she's very good. Now, what you're seeing in Hollywood is with Lizzo, it's the same thing that you've seen with Oprah. The more fat women are, the less threatening they are to the skinny women. So the bigger, the fatter, the blacker, the less threatening they are to white women to take the attention off of white women. So people put big black women in power because nobody's gonna want them, and it's easier for them to have an attitude. A white, thicker woman is more sensitive than a thicker black woman. A thicker black woman is actually more delusional, but she has more confidence within herself because she has more guys that want to sleep with her. That's the downfall of especially a black woman, is having an overload of black women, of black men that like thicker women, is constantly chasing them. So a lot of black women feel like they don't need to lose weight at all. So they walk around with their egos are high. When it comes to a white woman, you don't have too many white women that are glorifying being fat. When I go to the gym, I see more white women in there than I see black. Matter of fact, if you see black women in the gym, it's a rare thing. It's like, what is she even doing here? Because you don't see black women in the gym so much. And if you do see black women or black girls in the gym, they're normally middle-aged black women that are coming out of a divorce, or their kids have gotten grown and now they're coming to the gym. But when you look around in the gym, you have predominantly white women that are walking around the gym, because white women face reality and they understand that their look is the prize. Black women think that their body and their sexuality is the prize. So the more women go on the internet and put their brain inside of a matrix world that works for them, and they stay in there, the more delusional they're going to be whenever it comes out in public. For instance, you have a guy at home right now, right, who never leaves the house, but he sits in the house and he starts watching these karate movies, and he starts watching these things and he get indulged into it. Next thing you know, you see these type of people walking around in bigger cities with karate outfits on. They think that whatever they've been fantasizing about and looking at in the movie is actually real. So they start walking around in real life waiting for somebody to fight them because they're under the delusion that they know karate. It's the same thing with a woman. A woman stays inside of her phone so much. The bigger she is, the more she's in her phone. Fat women can barely walk around without looking in their phone. So as long as they're in their phone, their brain is telling them, you're pretty, you're pretty, you're pretty. It isn't necessarily the phone telling them that. It's the chat rooms that she's going to get her gratification that's telling her that. So no matter what anybody says in the world, she believes she's pretty because her esteem is so low that she has nothing to lose. So it comes to the point where she says, accept me or not. A lot of guys can actually learn this mindset from a fat woman that is delusional. Fat women learn to not care what you think about them. But when people let them get away with their confidence, it's actually more harming to themselves because they never go out and try to fix themselves. They use it as a reason to stay bigger, and they use it as a reason to come up with excuses. See, a lot of you guys that are blue pill, you're very insecure. You need to learn from a fat woman that's delusional. You need to realize you have nothing to lose and that you really should not be caring about what people think about you, and you need to be doing what you're doing to make people happy. Whatever you may do for yourself to make people happy may make someone else mad. When it comes to that fat woman, even though we know she's delusional, the best part about her is that she stopped caring what people think about her. We may look at that fat girl that's very delusional, walking around like she's some type of beauty queen, and we see cellulite, we see sloppiness, we see unhealthiness, we see death right around the corner for her. But one thing that a thicker woman can teach a lot of you guys out there that's judging her is that she stops caring what people think about her. Whether she died from diabetes or whether life just doesn't work out for her. One thing that a overweight woman does that is delusional, stop caring what people think about her and starts living her life based off of what makes her happy. But at the end of the day, what makes her happy is the simple fact that she found a way to mask her insecurity. And a lot of you beta males out there need to learn to mask your insecurity and start portraying your alpha role so you can get results that you want. Because one thing about a delusional woman, especially an overweight delusional woman, if she puts her mind to something, the world's gonna give her whatever she wants. That's what you're seeing out of Lizzo. Regardless of how unhealthy the image she's putting off, what you can learn from that situation is that she took her insecurities and transitioned it into confidence. And that's what I want a lot of you blue pill guys to learn from an overweight woman who has a lot of confidence, is that you have to transition your insecurities into confidence. The difference between the overweight woman, when she comes down off that high, it's gonna hurt really, really bad when she faces the facts and she starts having health problems. All right? This is Anthony Spade. Hopefully I was able to deliver the message. Hasta la vista.